And the local government of Manila recently appointed a consultant to help boost tourism in the city. We invited in the studio Manila's newest tourism consultant, Carlos Celdran. Good morning and welcome to Solar Daybreak.
Hi guys.
Nice to finally see you.
I know it's really early in the morning, isn't it?
So tell us more about how you became the new tourism consultant for Manila, and what was your reaction when you were told this?
Fear.
Fear.
It's a big job. But luckily I'm not plantilla. As I said, I'm just a consultant. So I'm actually just sort of helping them out and sort of guiding programs and stuff like that. But I've actually had this position kind of before, during the time of Atienza. I was one of the consultants when it came to the creation of the Baywalk, Pedestrianization of Rizal Avenue, along with a great team that they had. But as you know, it was all reverse during the time of Mayor Lim. And now we're trying to start from scratch once again.
Why are you fearful? I mean, when you look at Manila,
it's a big job. Well, number one, the thing we need to do more than anything else is just regain confidence in the brand. Because, you know, I mean, like, crime and dirt has never been a deterrent for a lot of other cities in the world. Some of the most beautiful cities in the world, Paris, you can also get robbed. It's also kind of dirty also, like, in other cities, like, you know, perhaps like Rio or something. But tourists still go there. What we just need to do first is just create some trust in the word Manila within local residents themselves. So basically, we're going to try and work on locals more than we're going to try and bring in foreigners.
like how?
What projects do you have in mind that we should probably focus on?
Well, right now we can follow what's happening on Ross Boulevard. There's a national directive by the DOT and the DPWH, and we're working coordinating with them, with Paolo Alcazaran, to totally renovate Ross Boulevard. So they're going to fix everything up, rationalize the sidewalks and everything like that. And what the City Hall will do is we're going to start fixing up Plaza Raja Suleiman and Plaza Ferguson. So basically the main tourist center plazas we're going to try and fix up first when it comes to infrastructure. But other projects I've been working with the people who own bars in Malate to bring back the Pink District. So we're also talking to people putting in an organic market and a food market. Everything is still kind of in flux right now. So right now we're still collecting ideas.
Now, I'm sure you've traveled to other cities, you know, in the world. And what do you think are the ideas that you could bring in from going to other cities that you think would fit in Manila?
Pedestrianization. It's a hard word to pronounce. Pedestrianization. And I don't mean by making things pedestrian, but I mean by making things walkable. So what we want to do is try to create a more walkable Manila, and especially with the new renovation under Paolo Alcazaran and the DPWH and DOT, making all of Ross Boulevard the main central walking focus that leads into Luneta Park and then out towards Borgas Drive and then into Chinatown. If we can just make that one spinal path walkable, it'll completely change the character of Manila.
Does it mean that some of the roads may be close to motorists and only will be for pedestrians?
I don't think we're closing in the motorists, but there already is, as you know, there's a bus ban, which has actually really alleviated a lot of the traffic. And parking, really. Manila's been kind of forgotten by the people who go to Fort Bonifacio and Makati and Quezon City. So trust me, parking is not a problem in downtown Manila anymore.
Because of the bus
because of
scheme.
because of the bus, and because we really don't have much people coming down anymore from other parts of Manila. So that's what we're going to try and do. Try to attract. If I can't attract the Makati crowd and Quezon City crowd to come down, how am I going to attract a foreigner to come down to Old Manila?
So far, who usually visits Manila for the tourist attractions? Is it foreigners, or do you find locals as well interested once again?
Yeah, on my tour specifically, locals and foreigners. But on a general whole, it's kind of gotten one note. Malate has become kind of like either Korean restaurants or it's a karaoke GRO bar, and pretty much nothing else. Everything else has got varieties in the mall, and we acknowledge that. So what we're trying to do is sort of create a better business climate, you know, through safety and everything, so that people can start coming down and renting spaces and opening stuff on the street in Manila again. Because, you know, the prices have gone down. You can get places for, I mean, at a very high of 1,000 pesos per square meter during the peak of Malate in the early 2000s and 1990s. Rental spaces can now go for 550 to 500 pesos per square meter, which means it's very affordable for any businessman to come down and open a business in Malate now. Yeah.
So maybe more restaurants, more bars,
more restaurants, and that's why I say
shops.
we need to attract locals. I need to attract. If I attract that person from Makati to come down, that person is a potential investor in downtown Manila, more than I would probably have with a foreigner that comes to I have very little investment when it comes to that. My greater investment is, as I said, creating trust within Filipinos themselves on the brand that is called Manila, right? Because right now, when you hear the word Manila, first thing comes to your head is gates of hell, and not good investment, right?
On a personal note basis, what inspired you to get into? Because I see, you travel to like different corners of Manila, from Tondo to just every parts of Manila. What inspires you to do that?
Well, it's kind of long. I mean, you know me. She's my niece. You're wondering why we look alike and perhaps even sound alike. You saw me growing up. I grew up in a very, very, very sheltered upbringing in a place called Dasmariñas Village. And you saw it with Tito Mike and Tita Baki, right? And I didn't quite like the repression of living in a very closed community. So the second that I went to UP Diliman and I discovered that there was a bigger Manila outside of the gates of Dasmariñas Village and Makati, I never turned back. And it's that inspiration of the freedom, the beauty, the color, and the chaos of Manila that I experienced during my college and high school years that still guide me to going back there today. I'm never going to go back to a gated community again. I don't know why people would want to do that.
And that sparks your love for
my love for
Manila.
The excitement and the chaos that I experienced as a child is what drives me there.
What about the activism? Because I was looking at your, I know you're a visual artist, a performance artist, and then you have always been very vocal about your advocacy.
I think
as
it's
well.
the Celdran thing. I mean, Tito David, right? Used to be the head of. He was at ABS-CBN, but he also a lot of people know he was the head of League of Filipino Students and the president of the UP Student Council. Very leftist.
Right.
And that's also with Anita. She's an environmentalist. It's just in the Celdran blood to be kind of activist. and
Active
loud,
and vocal.
And loud. I think it makes up for our height since we can't be really seen. We'll just be
That's
heard.
right.
So it's pretty good. I'm actually, come to think of it, if you look at Manila, there are many things to do in Manila. You can you can shop if you want, and you can visit all these museums, or you go to CCP to watch plays.
Yeah, there's actually a museum
many
mile
things that you can do.
between the CCP and Jones Bridge leading into Chinatown. You're looking at least 7 to 8 cultural institutions. Many of them very well maintained. The National Museum is the best that I've ever seen it maintained. The Luneta Park is amazing now under Jet Villegas. So basically, what Manila wants to do now is sort of complement all of that and make the spaces that are in between these wonderful attractions just as good as a tourist attraction.
Right. So like maybe in between stops, they have other little places to go.
Little place to go. Just even a
going
clean
home.
sidewalk is all that matters. That's
Right, to walk on and nice, pleasant walkway. But what about the hop-on, hop-off bus, like what you see in other cities?
If ever that would be happening, that would be a problem between a public and private partnership. The city of Manila, I don't think, should be investing itself in infrastructure like that. Basically, the tourism department, we should promote Manila. And there's already a lot of stuff to see, like Luneta Park and so on. So what City of Manila wants to do is just sort of be like an umbrella that brings all of these people together, of the Intramuros, National Museum, and Luneta and CCP.
So lastly, what's your message to us who live here in Quezon City, Mandaluyong City,
Makati.
and maybe Makati, and who haven't really fully discovered Manila?
Come down and discover it. Number one, you'll find out, you'll learn about your history. And two, if we want to stop being the gates of hell, we have to start going down and improving the places that best define us. The world will always judge us by Luneta Park and Malate and Ermita. They will never judge us by Fort Bonifacio or Makati, because that's private enterprise. And the Makati will show what the Philippines wants to be. Manila shows you what the Philippines is. So unless you come down and invest in the heritage districts, whether it be through buying a coffee or opening a bar, that's one way to improve our reputation in the eyes of the world. Because seriously, with our heritage districts, if you don't use it, you will lose it.
Okay. Yeah. Carlos Celdran, thank you so much for coming with us. We're coming here this early in the morning.
Well, the LRT was fun, and I'm going to go on the LRT again right now.
It was fast.
Much faster.
Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
nice,
guys.
good to see you again.
My niece.